Was that good? Okay, good. I'm glad.
Thank you, Alex. I love those Mean Girls references. I am here to talk about money. People always have mixed opinions when they hear me talk about that word. Though it is something so central and vital in our lives, somehow this concept of money is deeply rude to ask about. But the way we think and talk about money affects who we are. Now, truth be told, I wasn't always as interested in this topic as I am now. But the more I thought about it, the more I saw the world around me through this lens. After all, what seem to be the most complex situations can often be boiled down to one simple issue, an issue of class, economics, and ultimately, money. The complex situation I'd like to touch on today is domestic violence and the role money has in making it worse. We tend to think of domestic violence as something real and dark, but ultimately far away. We tell ourselves that we're smart, that these horrible circumstances can happen to us because we'll see it coming. The problem is often we don't. Domestic violence sets in slowly, and by the time you realize it, you've been trapped by the subject of this talk, money. I once heard this story from a woman named Anna, and her story can help highlight my point. Anna was what people would call a modern woman. Having graduated from college and gotten her degree, Anna was pretty much self-sufficient. However, she wanted to get married and have kids, the whole enchilada. So she found a guy, married him, she had a baby girl, and she stopped working to take care of her. And everything was picture perfect in her life, except it wasn't. During this time, tiny hiccups happen. One day, the husband raises his voice and slams his hand on the kitchen table. But everything is fine because he's sorry. It was a stressful outburst, he said. The next time, he breaks a vase. But everything is fine because she didn't like that vase anyway, and he promised to make up for it. These small and inconsequential acts ultimately led up to a case of domestic violence that I don't want to get into the details of. But I think you're wondering the same question I asked her. Why didn't you leave? Well, before she knew it, all her escape routes were gone. She can't rely on her income, which had once been provided by the job she quit. If she leaves, she can't support herself. Without even realizing it, she had lost her freedom. And Anna is not the only woman I've heard this story from. Though these situations can be complicated and difficult, they all stem from the same thing, a feeling of powerlessness, driven by their economic dependency on their partners. At this point in the relationship, they couldn't choose to leave. So, how does one fix this complicated situation? Money. But how does one get money? Financial education. Even in developed countries like the US, where women are encouraged to pursue their dreams, or in other words, be a girl boss, the reality is that we lived very confused and conflicted lives. Now is a space and time where women, despite being told that we smashed through so many barriers, systems, and structures of patriarchy, the reality is that women hold the positions of only 23% of global investors. Only 8.2% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women, and men double the number of women in economics careers. Now, I know all of those statistics can feel overwhelming. It hurts. But what hurts more is if we continue to do nothing about it. Financial education is not only helpful, but necessary in today's world. Luckily, we are a generation connected by something that no other generation had before, the internet. And yes, it can be used to make TED Talks and streaming, But I believe it can be used for so much more. A way to connect with the ones that need it the most. The problem is, you can have all the information you want at the touch of your fingertips, but no idea where to start looking. Which is why I'm creating GIRLEY. GIRLEY will be a financial education app for women that starts with the basics. It is targeted towards teenagers because this is the best time to start learning, as many stress factors like unemployment and taxes don't exist for us yet. It will start with a simple 5-minute quiz to assign you the best learning path with the subjects that are most important to you. Once completed, the app consists of small, bite-sized lessons covering subjects like creating a budget, investments, a savings account, and creating a passive income. This is designed so no matter which path you choose to take in life, you have the tools to take care of yourself. More than money, it's about independence. The independence to make decisions for yourself. And I tend to think of it as risk prevention for economic and other types of violence. Now, I know I can't save everyone. And by creating this app, I'm not completely fixing the problem. The fact remains that until we as a society change the way we relate and teach about money to girls, economic violence will exist. The ideal and permanent solution would be to incorporate financial education for everyone into schools around the world. But this is a small step in the right direction. This is my gift to Anna and all the women that shared their story with me. So, it is finally time to stop thinking about money like it's taboo or rude to ask about. This helps no one. And it is time to stop hiding this knowledge from girls around the world, because this only takes power away from us. Let's take it back. Let's make money girly.